Welcome, dear friends, to the Military Reporter channel. As always, we continue to make a selection of what is happening on the front line. Russian soldiers fighting on the front lines this morning. Assault group on tanks and Mi-28 helicopters started attacking the neighborhood where Ukrainian soldiers were located in the direction of Chasiv Yar. The footage shows an Su-25 attack aircraft belonging to the 11th Guards Air Force and Air Defense Army of the Vostok Group attacking Ukrainian armed forces positions in the Polotsk direction. The footage shows Russian soldiers repelling an attack of the Ukrainian army on the border of Belgorod region on April 9, 2025. This footage shows two Bradleys trying to overcome the dragon's teeth. One of the vehicles puts up a smoke screen, but first one of them gets a direct hit by a shell, and the second, moving on, is blown up by a mine. This video captures the moment when a Russian FPV drone catches up with an ATV with two Ukrainian armed forces soldiers and explodes. Footage of an Mi-28 attack on enemy armored vehicles and infantry stuck at the Dragon's Teeth on the border of the Belgorod region. The vehicles and soldiers were hit by a salvo of 80mm unguided aerial missiles. Russian aviation and artillery continue to defeat Ukrainian soldiers in all directions. The destruction of the enemy's manpower is being carried out with high intensity, maximizing any attempts to advance by the Ukrainian armed forces. The footage shows moments filmed by Ukrainian soldiers striking their positions.
Ой, я себе. Я ебу.
Filmed GoPro footage of the combat work of Army Special Forces scouts of the Russian armed forces at one of the frontline sites. During the task, one Ukrainian soldier was taken prisoner, and the second was self-destroyed.
Молодец, молодец, хорош. Работай дальше. Дальше работай. Это кто? Так, сторожно. Там, сторожно. Все? Второй! Второй! Второй, плюс даваться. Крик ему. Второй! Крик.
Dear friends, if the video is interesting to you, support it with a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss new releases. And to be informed, click on the bell. Thank you for watching, and we will continue. The MSTB 152mm gun of the Dnepr group of troops destroyed an Ukrainian armed forces UAV control center in the Kherson region. Artillerymen of the 18th Combined Arms Army continue to destroy enemy personnel and equipment on the right bank of the Dnieper around the clock. Destruction of Ukrainian logistics near Dzержinsk. Russian dronovods of the 132nd Brigade destroy armored vehicles and APCs of the Ukrainian armed forces. At one point, a Mavic reconnaissance drone, in addition to an FPV drone, entered the vehicle. UAV operators of the 30th Separate Company of Special Forces of the Vostok Group disrupted the rotation of Ukrainian soldiers in the Shakhtarsk direction. The work of attack drones to destroy artillery in Sumy People's Republic. The Orion UAV destroys the Gvozdika SEU on the Kursk direction near the village of Magritsa. And an Forpost drone accurately hits an M777 howitzer on the Belgorod direction near the village of Ugrody. The Ukrainian Armed Forces fleet of combat vehicles in the southern Donetsk region is inexorably shrinking. On the roads, in forested areas, in shelters, and destroyed Ukrainian armored vehicles are being destroyed by Russian FPV drones. Operators of the Vostok Group are working, supporting the Russian attack aircraft. In Sumy region, the operator of the North Guard UAV uncovered the location of a signal amplifier for Avenge Angel drones. The target was promptly hit by a kamikaze drone. Russian drone operators destroyed an Abrams tank and several armored vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Krasnoarmysk direction, the Russian Defense Ministry said. Fighting on the Bryansk-Chernihiv direction. The Russian army crushes the Ukrainian armed forces near the border. Russian troops are destroying military equipment, strongholds, base points, and infantry concentrations in Chernihiv region, preventing Ukrainian soldiers from concentrating their forces to attack the Russian border. Russian soldiers captured terrorists from the Ukrainian Armed Forces 80th Ashper. On the video, the captives confessed that they had killed civilians in the Suji area. The video is hard to hear because of the gunshots. Now these subhumans are waiting for a fair trial and life imprisonment. We are sure that each of them will face a fair trial and will regret what they have done. Video footage of the defeat of the Ukrainian grouping in the Kupiansk direction, consisting of foreign mercenaries, has surfaced. The strike was carried out by Su-34 bombers dropping 3 FAB-1500 bombs. We shall remind you that as a result of the strike, the enemy's losses amounted to up to 40 people. Seraphim's squad literally injects FPV drones into the lairs of the 32nd Separate Assault Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Combat work of the BM-21 Grad MRS on positions and strongholds of AFU soldiers in the Kupiansk direction. A disabled American HMMWV armored vehicle of AFU soldiers in Sumy direction. On the video, soldier talks about summer tire is not suitable. The Mst-S self-propelled artillery launcher destroyed a mortar and an ammunition depot of the Ukrainian armed forces, the Russian Defense Ministry said. On the footage, you can see the FPV drone of the 6th Army disrupted the evacuation of an Ukrainian Armed Forces assault group. An FPV operator tracked down and then destroyed a vehicle of the enemy evacuation group along with its personnel. In the Pokrovsky direction, FPV drones, KVN, hit a howitzer and destroyed a 2S-1 Gvozdika SAU of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Vanya Ivanov's group is working. The Faggot PTRK units of the 49th Army of the Dnepr Group of Forces continue intensive training. The purpose of the training is to maintain a high level of combat readiness, improve skills in complex and dynamic combat conditions, as well as to improve the accuracy and effectiveness of hitting armored targets. Special attention is paid to practicing tactical techniques, camouflage, and interaction within units to ensure maximum effectiveness in real combat conditions. The UAV calculation of 68 Orb, 20th Division, 8th Guards All-Volunteer Army detected an AFU tank. The tank was hit by an FPV drone of 68 Battalion and finally destroyed by a Zala Lancet, attack drone of the UAV Company of 20 Motorized Rifle Division. The operation showed the coherence of the unit's actions, depriving the enemy of a combat unit. Call sign Moscow. Destruction of Humvee by FPV crews on Krasnolamenskoye direction. Artillerymen of the 200 Brigade together with UAV operators of the 43 separate Company of Special Forces and the 430 Motorized Rifle Regiment of the Vostok Group destroyed a fortification of Ukrainian soldiers in the Shakhtarsk direction. Ukrainian tank took a course towards Russian positions. Let's wish them luck. Destruction by FPV drone operators of the 150th FFM of the South Group of the AFU Armored HMMWV in the village of Sherbanovka. That's all, dear friends. Subscribe to the channel, put likes, and don't forget to click on the bell to not miss new episodes. Leave your comments. Your opinion is very important to us. See you soon.